Path of Exile is a very in-depth game, and it has many characters you can be. Alright, I'm gonna start off by playing my witch. My witch is my most recent character that I've made. I've made it in the Nemesis leagues. There are 3 leagues, I believe. There's standard. Well, there's more than 3 leagues. There's standard hardcore. I know there's Dominion, and I know there's Nemesis. Now, there's a lot of difference in between here. As you can see, I just summoned some of my zombies. I can summon them from courses. I'm now using my Fireball spell, which is the #1 spell that you get as a witch. It's very simple. Here I'm using my Firefall. There's many spells in the game for each character, and any character can have any spell, I believe. There's no restrictions. If you want to be a Marauder and you want to have Raise the Dead like my witch does, you can have Raise the Dead. Now the problem with that, you might not have enough mana to do that, since Marauders don't really get that much mana. But you know, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. If I want to be a witch and I want to use two-handed sword for some reason, now I might not find a really great two-handed sword that's going to be great with spell damage, but hey, if I want to do it, be my guest, man. You do whatever I want. I can build however I choose. And that's the big thing about Path of Exile, is if you want to do something, you want to build your character in a certain way, then you can go ahead and do it. I'm going to show you my skills right here. See, I have a Fireball skill that's in my gloves, Raise the Zombie. What else? I got some Detonate the Dead. And then I also have Firestorm that's in my sword. Now I can put these gems in any place, but if I put them in the correct color, that's when I can actually get the skill to use it. Now this is the passive tree. It's pretty big, isn't it? This is what I've gotten so far in my witch, because you do start in this area of the passive tree on your witch. I've gotten, I believe it was Lord of the Dead, and allowed me to summon more zombies. We're going to move on now to my Marauder. My Marauder, he's more of a tank, or you can go super DPS. The skill you're seeing right now is me using Ground Slam, which is like an AoE cone effect that shoots forward. Now, what I like about him, I'm building my guy super tanky because, you know, having a lot of health and having a lot of armor and evasion is always really good. I have decent gear in this guy. I've got really lucky with drops. As you can see, my one-handed club does a lot of damage. I also have double strike that you'll see me use a few times, which is when, you know, the name is pretty self-explanatory. It's when you do a double strike in quick succession. Now, I really like Ground Slam a lot just because of the AoE effect. I don't know what I want to really build it into, because there's some pretty crazy things you can do with Ground Slam. I mean, if it's like a range effect, I can increase how fast it goes. Now I'm going to show you the armor that I got. Yeah, I got some decent armor that dropped off of Hillock. That I'm showing you the gems I have. It's just some random. That dropped off in one area, I don't remember, but some pretty decent stuff. And I got a quick flash, so that allows me to go faster. It's one of the items that you get from one of the early quests you can do, if you so choose to. Now this is a passive tree, as you can tell. I'm definitely in a different area from where my witch was. My witch was up there, and I am over here. And so far I've just gotten a little bit of life. This guy is lower level than my witch. I haven't played him as much because I just really I'm enjoying the witch right now. Now generally all of my characters are pretty low, but as you can see, there's much room for expansion and areas that you can go into the passive tree. There's so many ways you can go in Path of Exile, and it's a free game. I'm going to move over to my Shadow, which is essentially like a rogue in any other game you've played. If you played a rogue, that's what the Shadow is. Now right there, I believe it's called Whirling Spin or Whirling Daggers. What I did right there is I jumped forward doing an AoE effect in everyone that I hit. I also have Cleave, which hits multiple targets. I have a poison on my Q that I will show you later. And then W of my Whirling Spin. I'll use that again. And it's just generally, Rogue is very fun to play as, and there's a lot of ways you can go, because currently I'm probably going to use daggers, since, in my opinion, daggers on a rogue is one of the coolest things ever, because when I think of that, I think of assassination, and that's what a Shadow should be. Now, there's a boss right here. Now, you might think, what the hell is that big totem thing? Well, that actually is the boss. Now, Most bosses are not going to be like this. Most bosses are usually humanoid or something of that nature where they fight back and move. Now, this is supposedly a false god. If you can see, it's blah blah blah, the false god Kaduku, and I'm going to just be using my double strike and as many abilities as I can, and using my Q to poison him, which I believe puts some type of poison damage on it. I'm not exactly sure, but it is very nice. Now, there's not much left for here. I'm going back to the town soon as I clear these guys up. There's so many other characters. These are the 3 characters that I have. There are 4 characters. Or not 4 characters, my bad. There are 7 characters. I only play 3 of them. There's 4 other characters that you can play. Now I'm going to take a portal scroll to go back to town to discuss the other things that are in the Path of Exile. It's very nice. Now I'm in Act 1 right now. I haven't moved on to any other Act 2 or things of that nature, because Act 2 and 3, you know, it's similar to Diablo 3, except this is Diablo 2. The team that made Diablo 2 made Path of Exile. This is the skill tree on my rogue. I've gotten a bit farther since he is a little bit higher level. But as you can see, there are stats for specific weapons, there's stats for spell damage, there's stats for specific types of spell damage. That in the middle is the Psychon. Psychon can start at anywhere. That's the 7th character that you can get. The passive tree is absolutely huge, and there's so many areas that you can go into the passive tree. It's absolutely insane. Path of Exile promotes customization. It promotes doing what you want. It promotes trying out new builds and having a fun time. You can go into parties, you can sell stuff to the vendor, you can do whatever you want. You can solo play, you can party play, you can join races in which who will level the fastest. It's just, there's so many things in Path of Exile that you can do. And if you ever had thoughts in your head, well, I don't know if I want to play this game or not, it is free. It's not a pay-to-win game. Some people say it's pay-to-win, it's not. If you want to buy stuff through microtransactions, all of it does is make your stuff look shiny and nice, which is cool. But that's all. This is the public parties that are already created. You can make a guild, you can have your friends, you can create a party, like I said, and group things. And there's so many more other things to do. So if you guys haven't decided if you want to play this game yet, I recommend that you guys check it out, because it really is worth free. It's worth for free. Try it out. I guarantee you'll like it.